गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So we begin 2007 and also decide to begin our life afresh. There was a music teacher who used to teach tabla. And when I saw the board, there it was written, those who know little bit of tabla already, for them the fees are 100 rupees per day. And those who know nothing, absolutely blank, for them the fees are 10 rupees per month. So when I read that, I said, there is a mistake in writing this thing, So I had talked to the teacher. I said, I think your painter has made some mistake. There is no mistake. I know what is written. I said, when somebody knows something, you are charging 100 rupees per day. The one who doesn't know anything, only 10 rupees per month, how it is possible? He said, it is easier to write on a blank slate. See? The person who already knows, my all effort go only in changing his wrong way of doing the things. In the same manner, there is only one thing we can do about our past. You know what is that? Forget. There is only one thing we can do. And forgetfulness is the gift given by God. Take money from somebody and forget. He will remember, you don't have to worry. So, when we want to start our life afresh, what one thing we have to do is, now let us not bring our past any time in our life. So for that, I will give you a mantra diksha. Ready? Put your right hand on your left heart. Your, not on somebody else's. And say after me, I say 3 times, you also say 3 times, then I'll explain. 1st January 2007.
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 Good. Now I'll explain the meaning of this mantra. Like when we chant, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, what it means? It means salutations are offered to Lord Bhagavan Vasudeva. When we say Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiyo Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. So we invoke the Lord Shiva and help him. And O Lord, let me lead a life of total detachment, although I live very much in this world. When we chant Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tasya Viturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata, that time what we do is, O Lord Sun, may the brightness of you reflect in my intellect, and I lead a more conscious and bright life, and not a mechanical, dull-witted life. So these are the meanings of the various mantras, is it not? Now what kind of funny mantra you have given us? Om 1st January 2007. What is this mantra? Now this is very simple. Now take a firm resolution to yourself. You know what is the meaning of starting afresh? Bhagavad Gita tells in the 9th chapter, Sadhuhu eva sa mantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. He who has decided to change himself, from that moment he is a great master. You have to simply decide to change. But when to change? 1st January 2007. Now anything good or bad that has happened in our life in the past, we don't bring out on our mouth, in our tongue. This is all. Now you will see, those who are, this is very subtle point, we are unable to appreciate it. If I give a lot of importance to money, how will I look at the world? The world is made of two types of people, rich and poor. Is it not? If I give a lot of importance to the health, what will I say? The world is made out of two types of people, healthy and unhealthy. If I give a lot of importance to the food, vegetarian, what will I say? The world is divided into two types of people, vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Means what? We look upon the world with what importance we have given to ourselves. Correct? If we give importance too much to the gender, what we will say? The other day, I was somewhere in Karnataka. You know Karnataka? There people do only Nataka. They have Karnataka. So, in that Karnataka, one person asked me this question. That Swamiji, what is your opinion regarding the women's reservation bill? I said, I don't agree with that bill. I thought as well, because you are already against women. I said, no, you are not heard me fully. Never draw conclusion from the half understanding. Then I said, my opinion is, there should not be 33% reservation for the women. Then there should be 100% reservation. So let the watchman be the woman, let the boss be the woman, let the cook be the woman, let every pilot, everybody, all the passengers should be only women, all the police should be only women, all our military personnel on the battlefield should be women, everywhere women. What men will do? Why you worry now about us? We will do whatever we like. You want reservation, isn't it? Take whole reservation. And we will nice, khao pio, mauj mein raho. You have to go to office, go. They take the keys there, go. What will you do? Why you worry? You go.
And look after the children.
See. Looking after the children also, that is there, because we will do, reservation, 100% reservation. Look here, we look upon the world what we have seen us. If this is understood, basic principle, in the same manner, when we are too much concerned about our past, I was here, I was there, I had done this thing, I had done that thing, then I came here, then this happened and I had done this. Like, many people when they meet us, the first question, Swamiji, where from you are? From the same place where from you are. I am from Punjab. I am also from Punjab. Really? Where from? Where from you are in Punjab? I am from Patiala. Oh, I am from Jalandhar. So I don't have to bother about what is in Patiala, because I don't know Patiala. In short, when we give too much importance to our past, we go on asking about somebody else's past. Be very attentive. What is ego? Ego is summation of the total past, is it not? Longer the past, stronger the ego. Stronger the ego, more likelihood of becoming miserable. Old people are more miserable than the small kids, because kids have a very short past and old people have got long past. Two children were fighting. And one child went to the mummy, mummy, he is beating me. So the mummy and daddy came out and called the parents of the other child. This is the way you have taught your children. You people don't have manners. We don't know where from you are dropped into our community, and like that. And that fellow started, what you teach, you people, you know nothing. When the elderly people started fighting, these two children said, our job is over. They started playing again. See, the old fellows keep on fighting. Therefore, friends, there is only one way to remain young in life. Once this happened in a medical college. After my talk was over, question answers. Some girl asked a question. So I said, okay, Amma, sit down, I'll tell you. So, I am not your Amma, I am younger than you. I said, look here, Amma, sit down, I'll explain you. I said, this is the only way I can grow young. When my mother is young, I have to be younger than her, is it not? So what is the way we can grow young in life? See? Be very attentive. If you talk to the kids, they say, when I become big, I have to become this, I have to become that. Have you seen one big billboard? I don't know, here somewhere, I think in Bombay I have seen. Akruti, some thing in Bombay is coming up, Akruti shopping mall or something like that. So there the whole picture is shown and the kids are shown. One child says, when I grow, I will be functioning for the IT from Akruti IT Park. The other one says, when I grow, I will go for shopping in the Akruti Arcade. The third one says, when I grow, I will be the professor in this Akruti college. So, children have more concern about the future. So, what is the sign of a child? Child is always thinking, dreaming about future, what he has to achieve, is it not? And what is the sign of the old man? जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन भाड़ में. See? All the time talking about the past, talking about the past. Therefore, if we want to grow young, take a resolution today. You will not talk anything about your life before 1st January 2007. Now start talking. What will you say? I came this morning here for the camp. Over. Nothing to talk. See? How light you feel. Please understand this point. If you are carrying, let us say, NRI suitcase on your head. You know who are NRIs? NRIs think that in India there is nothing available. Therefore they bring everything from USA. Because in India nothing is available. Thank God they don't bring the toilets. And their suitcases are so heavy. And when you keep their heavy suitcase on the head of a small child labor, can he ever laugh? You tell that child the best joke. He can't laugh because there is the head, full of load. Second example. If you have got very high BP, BP means bowel pressure, very high BP, and you are going and you go to the toilet and somebody is inside and there a board is written. How long is 1 minute depends upon which side of the door you are. That time somebody comes and asks you a question. Swamiji, what is the meaning of meditation? This is meditation. Because I am working under pressure, is it not? Physical pressure. Okay. Now third pressure, mental pressure. Swamiji, I don't know, my children, they don't take the benefit of my experience. I am freely available for them. But they don't want to take the experience of mine as a guiding factor for them. I don't know how to tell them. One old man asked me this question. I said, actually they are really foolish. They should have taken your experience that, see, after marriage it is only tragedy. Therefore don't get married. See, experience can never be transferred. You have to have your own experience. But we elderly people all the time think in terms of that because we have nothing except the past. And we forget our experience of the past is outdated today. It is not useful. See? Therefore, living in the present and starting afresh, the first step is refuse to bring your past in any discussion on any platform. See what a difference it will make. Now yourself, look within yourself. Try to be only today, as if you are born today. So, you have no past. So what you will think? The one who doesn't have past doesn't have future also. See? Future has meaning with reference to the past alone, is it not? So when we drop the past, by what we have dropped? A simple resolution. Like, in one place I went, and this is not only among the Grahasthas, even Babajis do the same thing. I will not tell you the name, but one experience I will tell you for learning. Then I will come to the second step. First, understand this point. There is one Swamiji, very elderly man, must be around 90 or so, and I met him in other country. He is the biggest load for everybody. He goes to somebody's house and doesn't leave. People have to tell, Swamiji, now you better go somewhere else. Okay. They don't mind serving the old man. They don't mind. But he doesn't keep quiet. He starts meddling in everybody's life in the house. Who has come, who has gone, what for, what you are talking on phone. Why this happens? Because only the old habit. I am an elderly person, I know this, I can guide you. Who wants your guidance? See? Therefore, it is necessary that we take a firm resolution. That we live only today onwards, all the past dropped. So this person, this Swamiji, when I went to meet him for the first time, then he started, I didn't ask him anything. I did namaskar because he is elderly. I did namaskar and sat down. He started. I was there, when I was a school child and I have done this thing and I have done that thing. Then I went to college, I did engineering. And those years, in early 20s, I did my graduation in engineering. And I was a very bright student. I was a gold medalist. I was not interested. Then I did this thing. I went to here, this Mahatma, that Mahatma. I joined this mission. I joined that mission. Continuously going on and on and on and on and on. And after that was over, then he asked me this question. Now you tell me which place you have come from, where are your parents, whether you are married or not married, or you are directly taken Sannyasa Diksha, all these things. So I changed the topic. I am expert in changing the topics. That is the simplest way to live in this world. So I changed the topic. I said, Swamiji, shall I get tea for you? Because this is your tea time, isn't it? Is it tea time? I said, yes, this is tea time probably. So for 10 minutes you forgot. Again, I ask you about once, twice, he doesn't have that common sense. When somebody avoids answering some question, we should not ask, is it not? Common sense. But we are so obsessed with our past that we want to know about the past of others. See? And when he was insisting, then I said, Swamiji, I was not answering the question because when I stood before the Lord, this was the sankalpa came in my mind. That this moment onward, I am completely dead. And this is what we do in our sannyas diksha. When we take the sannyas diksha, we do our own shraddha. We offer pindadan to ourselves. So for all practical purposes, we are dead. Don't touch us. If you touch us, go and take bath. Most unholy we are. Like, a dead body moving. So once this is done by you, what is there to talk about the past? No, I just wanted to know. I said, look here, I took a vow before the Lord. I will never talk about my past. And I never ask anybody about their past. See? This is the way to start our life afresh. That's why I know so many people I meet. Only one or two people with whom I interact more intensely for whatever reason, only their names I remember for some time. The other day I was in US and went to Idaho, Boise, and the lady who came to, is it my watch? No. So, the lady who came to receive me on the airport, and it was such a big face I could remember. So, Swamiji, how are you? Therefore, I call everybody Amma, common noun, no proper noun. So, Amma, how are you finding? When going, then I had a problem. No, I don't know. I said, hey Amma, I'll ask you some straight question. Okay, let us not beat around your president. So, my question is, what is your husband's name and what is your son's name? She looked at me. I said, look at the front, you are driving. So, she's my husband, your friends, very good. And by the way, what is your son's mother name? Swamiji, you have forgotten. I said, yes, I have forgotten. How can you forget? I said, that is the only thing I remember. You know what happens as a result? You remain all the time in the utter present. When you are present 100% in the present, you are absolute reality. But when this absolute is imaginary divided in the past, in the future, you start leading a relative life. Back home, when we left India 30 years back, the problems were like this. How is India now? So, then, now. So, we start leading our life at a relative level. And living life in relativity is what we have always been doing. Therefore, the first step to start afresh in life is never bring our past in front of anybody, nor ask anybody's past. If somebody asks you, bluff, oh bluff. So once or twice they say, Swamiji, last time you bluff? Yes, I bluff. This time this is also bluff. But why do you bluff? I said, this is the only way I can deal with. Because it is not necessary. See? Now the second thing. What is the meaning of starting afresh? This thought comes in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave the last advice to Uddhav ji. He was concluding his Leela. So, Uddhav was very disturbed. Oh Lord, you will go and the whole thing will be disturbed and who will take care of the world and what will happen to me and all kinds of things. The Lord said, you don't worry about anything. You look after yourself. Go to Badrinath and do tapasya there. Go, don't cry. And he said, okay, what will I do there? Do whatever you like, but two important things he tells. don't evaluate people as good or bad. How beautiful, the last advice. Whenever we evaluate somebody good or bad, you know what happens? We give them a status of reality. See? How important it is. And that is the last advice. And when we give a status of reality to something or somebody, we get influenced by that, is it not? Now when we go in the morning time, go for a walk. So morning time the shadow is long. So if the shadow falls in a gutter, does it become impure? Or if you are coming and your shadow was falling in the Ganges, will you come and say, hey, today, I went, my shadow was in the Ganges, very holy. No, we don't even talk about the shadow because it is not real. In the same manner, when we start evaluating, labeling the world, good and bad, we give this world a status of reality. And this is the same thing happens with us. When we go on talking about our past again and again, we start imagining that we began on the date of birth and we will conclude on the date of death, and therefore we are a limited entity and therefore we are suffering. See? As if the load of the past of this life is not enough for us. We borrow it from the last life. I had a friend in England, a Punjabi friend, very good friend. He used to tell his wife, I was there that day. See, Swamiji, I told her, you do anything, I will never ask you. But one thing I will not permit you. What is that? Don't do Karwa Chauth. I say, why? Swamiji, when this Karwa Chauth is done, the same husband and wife remain together for 7 lives. He said, I am tired of you in this life. Next life, I don't want you. See? So, we borrow the past and bring in this life, and this is how the samsara begins. Therefore, to live in the absolute present is the resolution. To achieve this, first, never talk about your past, never ask about anybody's past. Then what will you talk? Talk on the present, nature, climate, and politicians. When you talk on nature, climate, and politicians, you do not gather sins. Because they are not real. See? In this manner, just spend time in the present and remain cheerful and happy. The longer or the heavier the load of the past, more miserable we remain in the present. So first, we don't ask anybody, we don't talk about it. Secondly, we don't evaluate the world. Aisa hai, why worry? Now the third important thing, to start afresh our life. We must have some hobby in our life. Hobby is an area where you explore your inner potentialities, explosions. Hobby is never a burden. One example I'll give you. Once I came from a very long journey, maybe from US or Australia, and I was so tired, I decided that I'll just go and sleep. So evening time we landed. And when I landed at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, came out, my friend said, Swamiji, something great for you, you will like it. I said, what is that? Swamiji, I have got a special pass for this classical concert of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. Really? Yes, let's go. I went straight away home, just took a bath and had something and went there. All my tiredness, everything gone. Why? Because music is a hobby for me. It is not a burden for me. And what for we should have a hobby? Just to pass time. That is all. This I learned from one lady in USA. See, I used to go, I was in Iowa, Clinton, Iowa. And my hosts were both doctors, Mr. and Mrs. Master, their name, doctors. So, in the morning they will have breakfast and they'll go to the hospital and they come in the evening. Whole day I was useless. So I used to go for long walks. About 1 week or 5 days I was there. So when I used to go for a walk, I saw one particular house, such beautiful garden, such lovely rare flowers. So I used to observe and watch and enjoy. But I could never see anybody there. So I said, whose house is this? Such a beautiful garden, no person here. One day it so happened that I could not go during my routine walk time, but I went sometime else. And there I saw one old lady. So I stopped. I started talking to her. I said, hey Mama, who does this gardening? He said, I do. I said, you must deserve a great congratulations, really such a wonderful garden. Every flower is personally attended. So beautiful. I am so happy to see this. He said, okay, thank you. I said, Mama, shall I ask